Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Mimi and as a certified life coach, I help you find your purpose and create an aligned life. We've been focusing on clarity this month and let's go deeper into that. One of the things I personally learned about clarity and also saw in lots of my work with my clients is that clarity isn't something that just hits you one day and suddenly you know what to do. Clarity is something you create. And that's the best news, isn't it? Because that means it's up to us and it's in our hands to actually create this aligned life. So let's get straight into it. In this video, I'll be walking you through a powerful coaching tool. You know how I love research-backed tools, and today we're gonna work with the inner team. This coaching exercise will help you understand where this inner mess is coming from and how to clear the chatter out and actually find your next step. Think of it as a clean, clear baseline from where we can work, from where you actually understand what you truly want, not getting distracted by all that fear of missing out around you, and from where you can actually make decisions that feel aligned. The concept of the inner team looks like follows. We all have inner core drivers, parts within us who want the best for us in their own department. So you can see that as your inner employee, you have hired an inner team of all these different parts. Mostly known are the be perfect driver, be strong driver, try hard, hurry up, and please others. Surely you've had conversations with that inner driver before. So it's very common for each of us to have these 5 drivers and they are there to do their job as every employee is. So it's not bad to have them, but often they can take over the driver's seat, not yourself. And then our mind can get a little bit set off. A quick explanation about each of them. The be perfect driver. This part wants you to get it right every single time. First time. It believes mistakes are dangerous, and so it often holds you back from starting anything unless it has a mapped out plan how to do it. So to start something new, it must feel perfect first for this driver. The be strong driver. This one is the tough one. That driver tells you, you've got this, stay strong, don't show emotions, go through it, you can do hard things. It can be really empowering, but also exhausting, especially when you would flourish by getting support. Try hard. This driver thinks effort equals worth. So you're only worth something if you put in enough effort to be worth something. It says push more, do more, work harder. And it means it well for you, but it can lead to burnout when it never feels like enough is ever enough. Our fourth one, hurry up. This one is the anxious inner pusher, always rushing, telling you you are behind, you are too slow, move faster, or someone else is already ahead. It thrives on urgency, even when the timeline is made up by probably this driver and no one else. And last but not least, please others. This one wants to keep everyone happy. It's the peacekeeper. Kind and deeply afraid of letting others down. But if this driver runs the show, it's actually really easy to forget what you really want. So these parts aren't enemies, they are employees, they are your team. They all want the best for you. The problem is they're not always on the same page. Those 5 drivers I just mentioned are the main drivers every one of us has. And then you have additional employees. Freelancers doing smaller jobs, casuals coming in and out, like an extended team that's working with you. That can be, for example, the optimistic, the inner child, the adventure seeker, the perfectionist, the visionary, the anxious one, the inner parent. They are not to be classified. So I wouldn't name some of them positive, some of them negative, because what we mentioned earlier, all of them want the best for you, which is a positive asset. It's more so about when do we bring them to the table, when do we listen to them, and who is actually running the company and making the big decisions. Now, how does that help you getting unstuck? When we feel stuck, it's often a problem that many of these employees, inner drivers, come together and pull together on one decision. And because they have different needs and interests for you, they're pulling into different directions. But there's also one seat at the table. That's the CEO seat. And all of them would love to sit on the CEO seat, but that seat is reserved for your conscious self. The conscious self is the CEO of your company. And this tool is all about letting your inner team speak, so you as a leader, your conscious self, can make an aligned decision. Let's jump into this exercise. First of all, find one situation, one decision where you're feeling a little bit stuck. You can use the Wheel of Life exercise for this. This is a tool I will link up here for you, and you can use your life area you would like to work on through the Wheel of Life for this one. You can also use any other decision. So for my example, I'm gonna use the decision of moving abroad. 3 years ago, my partner and I decided to move to Australia, and that there was a lot going on within me. Now for your decision. Bring a few pieces of paper and a pen and sit down and think about who got a stake in this, so who actually has interest in this decision. Write down every single team member that has something to say about this decision. So with my decision of moving abroad, the inner critic was saying, you will fall behind in life if you're moving abroad in your late 20s. You will feel like 18 again, starting a new life at the other end of the world. The inner child was saying, I'm scared we won't find a job. I'm scared we won't have an income and we won't have anything to eat, and what are we even doing there? We're gonna have friends. I need friends to play with, and I need a roof above my head, and this is very far out of my comfort zone. I'm stressed about this. The inner adventurer was saying, hell yeah, let's go. Why only now? Finally. Are you sure it should be Australia, English-speaking country, or can we maybe go somewhere remote where you don't even speak the language and where you live in a tree and have to grow your own food? Like, the inner adventurer, he loved the idea. And then there was a part of the inner brave Mimi saying, wow, this is such a cool step and no one of your family has done it before. I know you can do it. I believe in you. If you choose to go down that path, I'll be there for you. And then somehow all 4 parts were speaking at the same time, and I had no idea who to listen to and how to make this decision. A decision which obviously has a lot of impact, not only on my life, but also on my partner's life, my family's life, my friend's life. So for the first step, you listen to all these voices and inner parts who have something to say about this decision. You write their names, each on one piece of paper, and the concerns they have or what they want to bring forward. In this part of the exercise, we're not only looking at those who have concerns, but actually I brought in the adventurer, I brought in the brave one, looking at every part of your inner team who wants to support with this decision. Here you can already see it's not only that some parts are concerned about you, there are also some parts within you who want something for you. Now take one more piece of paper and write CEO and the conscious me onto that piece of paper. You're gonna place it in the middle of a room. By the way, others call the concept of the conscious me the higher self or the future me. That's all just different terms you can use for your conscious self. So that's placed in the center, and then around that place the other parts who want to be heard within this decision. Place them intuitively within the room, depending on how much they are influencing the conscious self at the moment. Super close to the conscious me would be quite influential. Further away has something to say, sometimes hear it, but maybe not following that voice so much. Now it is time for an interview. Step onto the paper of the conscious me and really feel into that CEO energy. Maybe even looking back onto tough decisions you made previously, but also just feeling into yourself, the here and now. For me, that was looking back onto traveling the world by myself for 15 months, which already gave me a glimpse of what it feels like living abroad. But also building up my first own business, which gave me experience in building things from scratch. So feel into that energy, find a settled moment, and then you start stepping onto one of your inner employees' papers. You're stepping onto that paper with your CEO energy, and you're gonna ask them some questions. Stepping onto the inner child, for example, ask it, what is your intention for me? What do you fear? What would help you feeling more at peace? And then you're gonna go and do that with your other inner drivers as well. Listening to each of them, spending some time there, actually listening to their concerns, what they want for you, what they want to bring into your life. When I stepped onto the adventurous one, he told me like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for you. It will make you grow so much in such a short amount of time. You don't want to miss out on that. When I stepped onto the inner child, it shared its fear of, do you actually have enough energy to really go through all of this again? And maybe there was even an inner critic saying, what if it doesn't work out? Won't other people be laughing at you? Very often, it helps to hear their concerns, because the inner drivers, our employees, they mostly want to be heard and understood. For them, it's not so much about if they can make the decision, but they at least want to be heard and know that what they have to say has a meaning to you. Now in our next step, we're gonna rearrange your inner team. looking onto all drivers. Start teaming them up. Who can support whom? For example, my inner child was really concerned if I have enough energy for that, while the adventurous part spoke about a once-in-a-lifetime possibility. So I teamed them up and I said, the adventurous part will be looking after the child. And the child can actually help the adventurous part to not go and live somewhere in the rainforest with the snakes in the middle of the trees. So the inner child can calm down the adventurous, while the adventurous one lets the inner child know, look, we have the skills to survive and have enough food on our table every single day. And I could also team up the brave one with the inner critic one, that voice of, what will other people say and don't you think you'll fail at it? And the brave one being like, yes, but our core value is to try new things and to live your own life. And so each of them got to say what they wanted to say and could support each other. The critic one making sure that I don't make any super stupid decisions, and the brave one making sure that I'm not too lazy and too afraid of trying something new. So once you have formed your new teams and you have rearranged them around the conscious me, step back onto that paper of the conscious self. Here you can really take a moment to look around and understand that this is your support circle. Now ask yourself, what as the CEO do you want all of them to know? So you're gonna speak to your inner team. Come up with a little speech. Tell them you hear them, you understand their concerns, maybe you're even repeating some concerns and coming up with solutions, how important teamwork is, and that you're holding together to make a decision here. Then, as the CEO, it is your turn to make an informed and aligned decision. And remember, as the CEO, you get to choose how you wanna decide. You can listen to your team's voices, but it's up to you to make the decision. Once you've spoken to your team and you let them know about your decision, sit down in your CEO office and write a little meeting notes and memo. This can be an online document or in your notes app, actually writing down some notes from your meeting, which employees attended the meeting, what did they have to say, how did you team them up and how does the new work structure look like, and what was the decision you made moving forward. These meeting notes are meant to be sent out to your employees afterwards, so you can let them know about the decision you made. And you as CEO obviously get to lead your inner team. So if you feel like another team meeting next week to follow up or to rebounce ideas, invite them back in. For me, that looked like making the decision to move overseas. And even 3 years later, I still have my team meetings with all these employees who are coming up and who are interested in this decision. But we're not meeting to make the single decision anymore. We are meeting to stay as a team, to come together, so I can hear everyone and what they have to say. And this is my inner team carrying me through this entire experience. Also indicating that you're not alone in this. You have different parts within you who support you along the way. With this exercise, you get to understand that you're not lost, you're not stuck, you're just overwhelmed by the noise. You're overwhelmed by listening to every single voice in your head and thinking you have to act accordingly to what this one specific voice is saying. And let me tell you, if you are tired at the end of the day, you have other thoughts than in the morning. So listening to one single voice is simply never a good idea. You know what you want, but it's buried under fear, noise and distraction. And what I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we don't find clarity, we create it. And very often we create it by stepping into leadership. Leadership of your own life. And this means listening to all different parts within you without letting one of them drive the entire bus. So this is how you can move forward when you're feeling stuck and there's just a little bit too much chit-chatter going on in your mind. I would be super curious if you try this, if you would like to share your experience. Drop it in the comments below or send me a DM on Instagram. And if you would like to do this exercise with a guide and dive deeper into the patterns you are discovering, you can book yourself into a live coaching session with me. I'll link everything in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have fun with creating your clarity. Bye bye.